Prison is one messed up place. And believe me when I tell you this, when you get in there, you have to play by the rules. There is no standalone in there. You will be tested. You will be set up. You will be disrespected at some given point. Prison is prison. And Diddy being Diddy, rich and famous, means nothing behind bars as far as him getting in there and taking total control of the place and running the place and all that other stuff. You got to get down. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on this channel. Now, I've been following Diddy's whole journey since his arrest, all through his court case, his convictions, his wins, his losses, his imprisonment, his transfer from jail to prison. Here we are. For those of you who know my other channel, BrainFLoTv, or if you're hearing this on BrainFLoTv and you know my other channel is SoFloTV, then I hope you're subscribed to both channels, because sometimes I put some of the videos up on one channel or the other. Now today, I'm riding for Diddy. I'm like, yo, he needs to be free. Okay, he got some time he got to do. We're going to take a positive look at this. You're God's child and you are being a bit disobedient with all the blessings that God bestowed upon you. So God, the Father, is going to sit you down for a minute because he's saying, son, I'm talking to you. I'm trying to lead you in a certain direction, but you're all caught up in the things I've blessed you with, and you're using them to go in the wrong direction. So I'm going to sit you down. Since you won't listen when you're free, I'm going to sit you down incarcerated. I'm looking at Diddy's stuff positive, like it's my incarceration, right? Sean Diddy Combs was reportedly caught drinking homemade alcohol, or in prison, what they call hooch. Hooch. Now, mind you, Diddy just got to prison like a couple of days ago. Hooch. He was caught in prison at FCI, or Fort Dix, New Jersey. And this is according to recent media reports. Now, we're saying recent media reports and allegedly because we weren't there. So we don't know for sure. And I like to see stuff or see a video or a picture of stuff, verify it's not AI, then I say 100% he did it. But this is what's trending right now, right? And there are some credible news media sources that have carried the story. He was caught. This incident allegedly occurred in early November of 2025. We are still in early November of 2025. Today, I'm doing this video. This voiceover is the 8th of November. It's as early in November as it gets. Diddy just got to Fort Dix, and already he's caught with alcohol. According to the report that was shared on Instagram, authorities at this low-security federal prison allegedly found the concoction, which was reportedly made from Fanta, which is a soda, sugar, and apples that they left to be fermented. Usually, they will tie it up in a bag and they'll have it stay there and get fermented for about 2 weeks. And then if you drink that stuff, it's like natural alcohol fermentation. It'll get you drunk. So the report indicates that the discovery was made as officials were debating his potential transfer to a new unit, a move which has now been reversed due to this infraction. Diddy was set up. He was set up. I'm going to explain that to you in a second. Hold on. So Diddy had been transferred to FCI Fort Dix on October 30th, 2025. After his legal team requested that move, partly so that he could address a drug abuse issue and participate in the rehabilitative program that they have at this facility. If he gets into that program, participates in that program, completes that program, it knocks a whole year off of his time that he's already been sentenced to, which means he'll come home even a whole lot more earlier. It's not clear what disciplinary actions he may face as a result of the alleged incident. So let's look into this with some common sense. The thing that they call hooch or prison alcohol, it takes 2 weeks at a minimum to ferment. 2 weeks, and then it's ready to get you drunk. Diddy has not been in Fort Dix for 2 weeks to have gotten all these things, mixed them together, made his own hooch, and had it hidden in his cell. Do you know what this is? This is a case of setting him up to keep him where he's at. Diddy probably went in there talking too much. And he's like, man, or his case is so well publicized that those who are in there already know the program and know what it is he's about to do. Yeah, I might get a pardon from President Trump, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm gonna be in here that long, but if I do, I do. I'm gonna just kick my feet up and do my time. He probably went in there talking like that. Or he's like, I'm trying to get to the other side, over into the program, the drug rehab program, because that will help me out and take a whole year off my time. And they're like, oh, you trying to get into the program, which means he will be moved out of that unit that he is in. See, the official unit that he is in now is not the unit where the people who are in that program are at. When you are selected to be in that program and then you're moved to the unit, it is said that they live differently over there, right? It is more regimented. They're more focused. It is more free over there. They go to their classes and you stick to the program and you up out of there in way less time than you were supposed to be. So he's trying to get there. Now, there's somebody in there who wants Diddy to stay right where he is at. It could be a prison official, one of the guards, or it can be one of the people who are in there as in another inmate already. But like I said, if Diddy was moved on the 30th of October, then on the 6th or 7th of November would only have been 4 or 5 days. Prison hooch or prison alcohol takes at least 2 weeks to ferment. So there's no way they found that in his cell, and that is his. Another thing is, he's the new guy. He's the new guy on the block. So they could have gotten word that all the cells are going to be searched, or they got a search coming down, and they start passing contraband around, right? Whoever got a shank, you hold this, you hold this. Whoever got, you got to hold this. And if you the person in there who's being pressed by everybody else, like you're the bitch, basically, they'll pawn the shit off to you. I don't know, put it in your prison pocket. I remember one entertainer who is now doing a lengthy time in prison. He explained what prison pocket was, where he was like, yeah, you got to slide it up in your asshole. You know what I mean? And I remember Charlemagne the God asking him, how do you live like that behind bars? And then when you get out, you just get back to being normal. And he says you don't. You have to go through counseling in order to come back to being somewhat normal, but it messes with you. But when you're in there behind those walls, you do what you have to do to survive, including stuffing things in your butthole. So if you're the guy who they deem the one who's going to be hiding contraband in your prison pocket, then that's just that. In Diddy's case, this is clearly a case of a search is coming down. Yo, hold this. Or they just threw it in his cell and he didn't know what the hell was going on. Ain't no way Diddy going in there making prison hooch. First of all, he didn't have the time to do it. That already told us it's not his. He just got there. That also tells us that he could easily be targeted. Now, again, this makes you want to look out for his safety now. Because if he opens his mouth and say, hey, man, that's not mine. That belongs to Benson, or that belongs to Jameson or Richard. If he says anything, that's another thing about prison. When they pass that contraband off to you or they hide it in your belongings and your cell gets flipped or searched and they find it in your belongings, you better not say it belongs to him or it belongs to that person. Now they label you a snitch. And now you got people who, depending on how connected they are in there, they might be looking to harm you physically because you said it's not yours, you know? And then if you say, you know what, you found it in my stuff, I'm taking the fall for it, it is what it is. You do that, that's what you have to do to gain the respect of all the other prisoners who are around you. It's a tough choice to make, but it's also very important to make the right choice in order to survive in general population. And I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but this ain't no regular prison. This is like the feds. Man, I think I've watched enough people in interviews, podcasts, people who did time in the feds who will tell you that the feds is still prison, bro. It is still prison and the rules still apply. And it's still grimy in there just like it is with any other prison. It might not be a lot more violence. I remember one guy saying the difference is state prison, the violence is probably more apparent. Like you can see it coming. And in the feds, it's like you can't see it coming because it is so random that it's shocking. And that's the difference for him because he did time in both. He was like, it's random. You know, you'll have peace and quiet for quite a good while. And then all of a sudden, it's the most random violence you ever seen. And it's savage and it's just out the blue kind of thing. So there's still violence in there in prison because it is still prison. I don't think Diddy did this. When Diddy finished up his case, he said to the judge in the closing, he was like, this is my first time being drug and alcohol free in 25 years. So out of all this came something good. You know, prison is a place that makes or breaks you, he said. And he said, this gave me time to sober up. And I haven't been sober in 25 years. He basically told the judge, now that he's sober, looking at himself sober, he didn't really like what he was seeing. Like, you know, I'm mad at myself. He said, I'm mad at myself. I take full responsibility for everything that I did and how I got where I'm at standing in front of you in your courthouse right now. In your courtroom, I am mad at myself. I'm mad at myself for being blessed with so much and then just messing it up. I'm mad at myself for disappointing my family. These are Diddy's words. And he told the judge he's happy that he is drug-free and alcohol-free, and he intends to stay that way. So I don't think within a few days of him, he's been locked up and not on anything for over a year. He just did 13 months in Brooklyn at the Metropolitan. So he's not going to go from a year and change to within 4 or 5 days of being at the new facility, he's making hooch and his hooch is already fermented and he's drinking and getting drunk in his cell. I don't buy it. But Diddy is in prison and prison rules apply regardless of who you are. Hell, they might even press him harder because of who he is. Extortion is a big deal in prison. There's people in there doing time that has nobody on the outside, no support system, nobody to put some money on their books, nobody to get them all the things they need to ride out the time, to stay comfortable back there. When they go to commissary, it's people in there that got no money to go to commissary, and you watching everybody else go to commissary while you got to eat prison slop 24/7 every time it's served. And there's some guys in there who got so much money on their books, they literally never eat the prison slop that they give them to eat. What do they do next? I don't know. Some people do favors in there, and some people resort to extortion and blackmailing. Diddy is in prison. You know what? The end goal for this, I think, was trying to get him to not be in the program that he's trying to get to. I don't know who called the shot. But I don't think that Diddy did this to himself. Now, it says here that they were just thinking about, the officials were having a debate about his potential transfer to a new unit. That's the unit where he would be able to participate in the rehabilitative programs. Now that they found the hooch in his cell, they have reversed their decision due to this infraction, and we look forward to seeing what the consequences of this is going to be for him, how they're going to reprimand him for this. Is he going to the hole? Is he getting more time added to his time? Is he going to be rejected from the program altogether? If I were his attorneys and him, if I was Diddy, I would check into PC, first of all. And then second of all, I would just start telling them, like, listen, you have to get me over to the program side. There are people in here, obviously knows who I am. There are people in here who are bent on sabotaging me, and I think they would also physically harm me. The extortion has started, the bullying has started, and the sabotage has started. Get me to the other side, man, so I could stay on the right track. And I think that's where it should start for Diddy. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I'll catch you on the next video. You already know, hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.